Hey everybody, welcome back to Mama Zodi Tarot. So someone asked me to do a video on Teyana Taylor and Pierre. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's not even waste any time. So I pulled cards on different subjects. So first up, before I forget, this is whether or not the relationship is real, authentic, they genuinely like each other, if this is something that's like fake and fabricated and, they just trauma bonding or was put together, that kind of thing. This is how they, met, like the whole situation of them coming together and meeting. This is their true intentions with each other. This is how their friends and family feel about them being together. Dang, what was this one? It's gonna come back to me. Oh, this is how they show up in a relationship with each other currently at this time, how they each show up to each other. And then this is like, all the pet peeves and hidden stuff that they're not saying, because I figured this is not going to be too long of a video. They just got together. It's early, so I don't want to everything is not so set in stone. It's still early on in the energy and in the relationship. So, yeah, let's just jump right into it. Starting off with whether or not this is authentic or not. Turn the movies over so that these can be in the frame, hopefully. Okay, so let's do it in the order that I pulled it in. We got majority no cards on this one, and we have a no card on the bottom of the deck. It says turning back, walk away, unreceptive to new ideas on the bottom of the deck, interestingly. And I do see a radio on there. So something about that's pulling me, making me think about her music and her music career. So we'll see if that is playing a role and a factor in this. But we have majority no card. So let's see what the yes cards say to start. It says it's the icing on the cake, all this and sprinkles too. You get a lucky break. It's a successful venture, and walk before you run. Fresh outlook, baby steps. So she's really excited about this. It's really sweet. It's really nice. She's trying to enjoy the honeymoon phase of it. Really excited to move slow and take baby steps when it comes to this relationship. Okay. So they, like each other, but I wouldn't say that it's like super set in stone and concrete, because with our no cards, we have unfinished business, loose ends, feels restless, shady deals, dark road, moonlighting to get by, stuck inside your head, brain freeze, overthinking it, and like oil and water, separate lives drift apart. So this is suggesting that one out of the, if not both of them, is just doing this, with this moonlighting to get by, just doing this because they, fulfilling some sort of obligation or some sort of agreement is what it suggests, and that they really don't have much in common. Yeah, they don't really seem to get, it's not like they don't get along, but they just don't have that much in common. And when it comes to having conversation, they tend to, have awkward moments. That's what I get from this stuck inside your head, overthinking it. It's like, there's the awkwardness between them, uncomfortability, and yeah, they just don't have a lot in common and a lot to talk about as of now. So that's what I have. Let's definitely look into the shady deals, dark road, moonlighting to get by, because I just want to clarify. I have to know, like, is this, is someone here fulfilling an obligation, or, what do we mean by shady deals, dark road, moonlighting to get by? Was there some sort of agreement or deal made here to be with this person? Because we know we have loose ends and unfinished business, so we know that Teyana still kind of is on the tail end of just getting out of the divorce. So we know that it's kind of fresh, to be jumping into a relationship with somebody new already, especially when there's children involved in the situation. So is this like I just want to know, is there some sort of agreement here that was made for them to be together? So I just like to clarify. It's majority no cards. So I would say, when it says your dreams take flight, fluttering around, busy, ripe for the picking, perfect timing, get ready. So I think that she really thought that this was a good idea and that she was just excited to get to know this person. She was trying to walk away and, have a new beginning and not go back to her past. And, with this getting caught and that loss on the tail end of things, it's like she hasn't really done the emotional healing is what I'm getting from this. Like she's not ready. She shouldn't have, she thought that she was ready with the right for the picking and she thought that it was a good time, but she's still on the tail end of things when it comes to her healing and being able to move on and be in a new relationship. So that's where the shady deals come from. And dark road is kind of like, it's not really a good idea. This is not a smart decision for her to go down this road and be with this person because she hasn't really done all of the necessary healing work and everything that she needs to do to tie up whatever loose ends she has with Amon from their previous marriage. So that's what I would say as far as the genuineness of their relationship. It's like the reason why I'm not getting a concrete yes or no is because it can't be genuine when, this is just so fresh and so new and it's, it's just a baby new relationship and they're just getting to know each other and she still has loose ends to tie up when it comes to her previous marriage. So yeah, that's what I have for that. All right, let's see. How did they meet? Interesting. Exactly like I thought. Exactly like I thought. Okay, so on the bottom of this deck, we have seduction. It says attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third party interference. So I feel like they already kind of was like, attracted and looking at each other. And, for a while before she even got up the nerve to like go on a date with him, there was a lot of attraction and just flirting. And possibly there was another friend who, they met through with the third party interference where there was someone else who, they met through and that they got put together through, a mutual friend that they was hanging out with that brought them together. Okay. So yeah, let's get more here. We have twin flames, heart with the key, mirror in reverse, axe, and Cupid's arrow. So yeah, this is saying that, listen, she was in this relationship, with her twin flame, which was in mine, and he, pretty much terminated that relationship. So she had to open up her heart. She had options with this heart with a key. She could get, together with somebody else. It was a perfect opportunity for her to move on and find somebody different because she was going through the separation with this axe here, this breakup. And he was pretty much abandoning her, giving her the silent treatment. With the mirror in reverse, she wasn't talking to him. She wasn't seeing him. They definitely hadn't solidified the divorce yet, just so, we're clear here. Like, this is something that was happening while she was still technically married. Like I said, there was a lot of hot and heaviness and attraction and heat and flirting and getting to know each other that built up to them even starting to talk. She was still married. She just felt like, well, I really feel like I found my person. We really complement each other. He brings me balance. He brings me peace. Like, he's the yin to my yang. She just felt like she really met the one. Like, she really found her person. And so she felt like with the Cupid's arrow, she was struck by love. And even though there was some hesitation, because I do see hesitation on the card here, they definitely spent a lot of time just talking and really getting to know each other. And just spending a lot of time on the phone. I think that the reason why he was hesitating, Aaron, with this hammer coming out here is because he's wondering, like, are you trying to, possibly really going to work on this? Or are you going to want to go back and rebuild something with your ex? Are you really, serious about doing the work that's needed? Like, is this real? He just wanted to make sure that she was going to do the work and that it wasn't going to be, repetitive, him repeating any kind of cycle of her previous marriage. He just wanted to make sure that they both wanted to just make sure that this was going to be something new and that her past relationship was totally put in the past. So they talked a lot about this with love, call, hammer, talking, boat, and photograph in reverse. They talked a lot about Iman and whether or not, they were really interested in having more, whether they was going to, it was just a lot of texting, calling, talking about being interested in each other, whether or not they want to work on having a relationship, whether they want to build something, or whether she's still, reminiscing on her past with this photograph in reverse. Is she still, nostalgic for her past? Is she still thinking about, Iman, or is she ready to move forward? Where was her head at when it comes to them building a relationship and, moving forward and getting the closure that she needed when it comes to her past and them having something new? So that's the, situation with them coming together in the beginning of their relationship. I think that they talked a lot, with this love call and talking. There was a lot of conversations and talking about, building something while she was still, married to Iman. So that's what I have. Let's see about their true intentions with each other. Secret, small favor in reverse, status, career, and imposter in reverse. Whoa. So, Teyana got a little bit of hidden secrets when it comes to this situation. And for him, we have revenge, then in reverse, deceit, sabotage, and apology in reverse. Whoa. This is weird. So it seems like he really actually has some plans to sabotage her and to deceive her, and he's really just trying to get whatever information he can get out of her, get some leverage on her, things that he can use against her with this vent in reverse. Like, he really don't want to care about the situation. He's, he probably was sick of all that talking and venting and, love calling that she was doing. He actually got some sort of hidden animosity about the fact that she was always talking about her ex. So he's possibly, wondering, like, what's really going on here. Can he trust her? Like, I think he's starting to feel salty and bitter towards her, to be honest, over the fact that he thinks that she might be sabotaging the relationship. So, he don't know if he can trust her with this apology in reverse. He don't know if, she went back to her past. Like, ooh, it's looking a little grimy, and he's looking a little stalkerish over in the energy right here. So we'll have to get some more fries with that. But I definitely feel like he's questioning her intentions and wondering, like, what you got going on? Is you dealing with somebody else? Did you go? Is you making up with your ex? Like, he's definitely overbearing, it feels like, and possibly a little bit insecure, and has low self-esteem, and when it comes to this relationship, he's not confident in, her ability to be true to him, and seems like he got some nefarious intentions too. So we'll have to get some more fries with that. But for her intentions, we have secret, small favor in reverse, status, career, and imposter in reverse. So she definitely is, wondering about his own intentions as well, and questioning him, but she's holding back a lot, keeping a lot of secrets, because she knows that her career is the focus right now. Her social status is important, and she knows that he could elevate that as well, and she just want to make sure that he's really who he say he is, that he's not pretending, that he's not faking, that he's not trying to use her, and that he's not hoping to sabotage her. But she does see the potential for her to get some career improvements and some better social standing when it comes to dealing with him. She feels like he's definitely a good look. Oh wow. So yeah, let's get some more clarification with each of these, because this is weird. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. So let's see more about Aaron's intentions. Is it, is his intentions negative? He's trying to harm her, sabotage her, and do something to her. Is that was that his thoughts from the jump, or like, what's going on here? Just clarify for me on this sabotage and deceit and revenge. Great news in reverse, leverage in reverse, welcome, honesty, and unfriendly. Yeah, so that's what he's really worried about. He's paranoid. Basically, just to be honest, the general gist of it is that he's paranoid that, she's going to come at him, that it's going to be bad news, that he should have stayed away from her, and that she, was just using him for the moment and needed somebody to vent to and needed somebody to talk to. And, he was that listening ear, he was that opening ear, and he was that safe space for her to be honest and vent. But the whole time, she's not really truthfully willing to be real, and she has her guard up. It does say secret, so he could sense that she's holding back and that she has her guard up when it comes to him. So he's a little bit hostile right now when it comes to her, because he feels like she did a lot of talking and a lot of venting, and he wishes that they could move on past that phase and talk about the future and what's going on here. So what I'm getting from this is that she might still possibly be in the energy of currently venting. So we'll see when we get to how they currently feel about each other. But he's definitely questioning her intentions and wanting to see, like, at what point is she gonna be real and raw and honest with him and open up to him and move forward and move on from the past, right? And let bygones be bygones when it comes to her past. So let's get clarification on her now. Tell me more about this secret, the small favor in reverse, career status, and then imposter in reverse. What is this about when it comes to Teyana and her intentions with this relationship with Aaron? Listen. Yeah, curious, lust in reverse, laughter in reverse, dishonesty, and support in reverse. So she's definitely curious about him, wondering about his truest intentions, whether or not this is just going to be a lustful relationship, or he's secretly laughing at her, or secretly wouldn't be happy with her, or not enjoying dealing with her if he's lying to her. She's also really paranoid. So here we go, with them mirroring each other, in that negative way, and not having to trust between each other, and feeling like, she don't know whether or not he really supports her and he's going to be there for her, or if he's, got his hidden agenda and he's secretly lying to her, or wanting to do something against her. So she's really, really paranoid when it comes to the whole situational relationship aspect of it. So I guess she's wondering if he's looking for just a boost in his image as well, because she's definitely aware that them being together is a good look, but she's wondering if that's all that he's looking for, whether he's truly there to support her and be there for her. So they both paranoid when it comes to the relationship. So that's interesting to know. How do reconnection on the bottom of the deck? Yeah, see, it's a lot about wondering whether or not this is real, or whether or not she's going back to her past and all of that stuff. So how do their families feel about them being together? All right, so for Teyana, we got apathetic in reverse, goodbye, and gift. So they feel like it was about time, basically, with this apathetic in reverse. It's like finally maybe she'll have something to be excited about again, and she'll stop being so cold, and she'll because she definitely wasn't in a good energy, they feel like, and they definitely feel like there might have been a certain warmness and happiness and joy that she was lacking, and now she can, with the goodbye, she can finally part ways with that. And this is like something that came as a blessing. It says, I offer something from the heart, an unexpected blessing to brighten your path. So they feel like he is a good look, and he's something great that came in to be a gift to her, be some happiness and a joy in her life. This was all written and sent. They feel like he's pretty much heaven sent when it comes to that. So how do his family feel about it? Desperate, mirror in reverse, and distraction. I'm weak. They feel like she is desperate, and he needs to chill out. He don't need to move so quickly. He needs to slow down. He needs to really make sure that they're on the same page with the mirror in reverse. They feel like she just don't reflect the type of person that they feel like he would be with, that they don't mirror each other, that they're not they just don't see it. They don't see what it is that he sees in her. Like definitely don't see what Aaron sees in Teyana. They feel like she's a distraction, that she's interfering with his goals and wasting his time. She's a waste of energy, and that he's pretty much, it says, I'm in a bind and don't know what to do. I may be acting irrationally. So they're like, you in a bind, Nate? You bugged out. You slipped up. You shouldn't have did this. This person is just not for you and not like you at all. So whoa, that's an interesting. That's tea. Wow. So that's clear as day how the families feel about it. So let's see how they feel towards each other currently. Okay, so this is the order that we had it in. Okay, so for Teyana, we have the this is how she I'm sorry, this is how she shows up in a relationship. Excuse me, let me not mess up. This is how she shows up in the relationship. So 10 of Swords in reverse. She kind of seems like she might be, a little bit aloof. Like her mind is always a little bit elsewhere. Like she's always thinking about other things. With this 8 of Swords in reverse, that she's still kind of holding back. That's just how she's showing up. It's definitely still, bonded a little bit. You see how this person's hands is tied up. Like her hands are tied. She still got some loose ends that she still needs to tie up. She hasn't fully released her past, and she's not really ready to surrender to the situation. With the Page of Swords, it feels like, she comes off a little bit childish when it comes to how she's showing up. Like, maybe just like, this is a kitty love. This is, just, oh, my eyes are blinging and gleaming and I'm so excited for this. And, it's like that puppy love. And, remember, Twin Flame came out. So it's like she's almost just really, confirmation, I was going to say over exaggerating, and just really feeling like he's just so everything to her. We have the Six of Pentacles here as well, so she's not afraid to spend money, to give. She's just showing up, really giving, wanting to give him whatever. We saw how she threw that birthday party for him, so she's really already almost love bombing. She's coming up really strong and passionate and just wanting to be there for him and give him things, and spend time and just pretty much, yeah, I just feel like she's going all in, and she's doing everything that she can, and she's giving everything that she got when it comes to this new relationship. We also have the Knight of Pentacles, the Two of Cups in reverse, and then the Eight of Wands. So what this is telling me is that she's showing up real passionate. Like, she's definitely coming at this from a real passionate aspect. She hasn't really done all the healing, like I said, when it comes to her past relationship. With this Two of Cups coming out of reverse, like, they're not exactly alike. They're not exactly as equally on the same page as she's making it seem. There is actually a lot of differences between them, but she's sort of googly eyed, so she don't really see the differences between them. She's just looking at the passion when it comes to this Eight of Wands. She's just like ready to just go after everything. Like, she just wants to move fast when it comes to this relationship. Okay, she's moving quickly. And then we also have the Knight of Pentacles. I'm a little bit interested in getting some more with that, so let's see about this Knight of Pentacles, with how she's showing up in a relationship. Y'all tell me more about this Knight of Pentacles. What is this Knight of Pentacles here? I'm seeing palm tree coming out sideways. So yeah, it's what I thought, because I was gonna say something about the stability of it and her feeling like, this is a stable foundation and she could really build with this person, and she's on the right track, she's on the right path, this is the one. And he kind of wanted to, go the distance with him, and feeling like, he's the one, and it doesn't matter what she has to do in order to be flexible when it comes to him with the Swords and Roses, like ancestors saying, like, yeah, she's not really having clarity, coming out sideways. She's not really having clarity when it comes to this. She's googly eyed. She don't care. She just willing to do whatever and give whatever. She's just ready to make this work, and she don't care, what differences and what things that, might not be going right. She's just like, no, I feel like this is my person. Like, so she may not actually be seeing things clearly for what they are, because she just wants it to be perfect and wants it to be what it is as of now. She's kind of a little bit forcing her way into this being, a perfect union between the two of them, when, like I said, I feel like there's actually a lot that still needs to be worked out and hashed out before they actually could have a genuine relationship, and she's just not ready. And they still have a lot of differences, I feel like, when it comes to their approach to the relationship, and they're not on the same page mentally when it comes to, the conversation of what they're doing here. So that's what I have as far as how she shows up in the relationship. Now let's see about how he is showing up in the relationship here. Wait, sorry, no, it's this way. I almost did that wrong, and then I sat up there and forgot to flip it over. Oh boy, this is interesting. Like I said, he is Mr. Paranoia, but how he shows up in a relationship. So 10 of Cups in reverse. Like I said, he's real paranoid. He's not sure whether or not she's still, focused on her past, whether or not she still wants her old family. Do she want that old thing back? He's just really trying to make sure that he is making the right decision, and that she's not still focused on the previous family unit that she used to have, and that she actually has love for him, and that she actually wants to be with him. We also have the Ace of Cups. So yeah, he's real excited to pour into her when it comes to, this whole thing. He's actually really excited with the Fool here. He's real excited to release and jump into this and start something new and pour, as much love, all the love that he has in his cup into this relationship. He has a lot of thoughts. He thinks about her often in a positive light. He has a lot of ideas about what they can do together. But at the same time, with this Magician in reverse, he also has a lot of negative thoughts where he's wondering, is she still stuck in her past? Is she nostalgic? Is she reminiscent with the Six of Cups here? Has she matured? Is she going to see me as the new father of her children? Can I replace him? It's a lot of thoughts here. He's just real scared and nervous and wondering if he's going to fit the role of being the father figure, whether or not she's going to accept him, and he has all that it takes, and he's just really trying to figure out whether or not this is all going to work out. He thinks about her often with this Ace of Swords. She's always on his mind, and he definitely has a lot of negative thoughts where he's questioning whether or not he can make it work, and whether or not they're going to be able to create something together, and whether this is going to be abundant and the relationship is going to go long term, or whether it's going to go to long distance, whether it's going to be a long-term future with them, whether he will be like a father figure and someone that the kids can look up to, or will she actually be loyal, and will they make all those happy memories together, or is she actually not really true with this Queen of Pentacles in reverse? Is she actually not going to be that stable woman and nurturing woman, and everything that he's looking for when it comes to a future wife and mother of his children? So he's just trying to figure out whether they're on the same page and whether they're really connected. So yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, as far as how else he shows up in a relationship, I feel like with the Six of Cups, he wants to experience a lot of love and happy memories with her, but he definitely is insecure. I just have to say it as it is. He's definitely got some, childhood wounds, some triggers, some things that, he still has to work through for himself to decide whether or not he's going to be that person. He's still got to work through those things in order to be that one. He's also got to, I feel like he got to be the savior with this Queen of Pentacles in reverse. He needs to be needed by his woman. He needs to feel wanted. He needs to feel like, that person is not just going to look elsewhere, that they're going to turn to him always for a listening ear and for stability. And every time they're stressed out, they're going to call him, and they're really going to rely on him. So he needs to be wanted, and he needs to be needed in the relationship. And he's nervous. He's not sure if he has the right idea with this Magician in reverse. He's kind of I wouldn't say boring, but he don't really know exactly what's the right things to say and the right things to do to progress the relationship forward. So that's how they each showing up in the relationship. Hidden pet peeves and things that they're not saying to each other. Nine of Swords, King of Wands in reverse, Four of Cups in reverse, Page of Cups, oh wow, Seven of Pentacles in reverse, Nine of Pentacles in reverse, and the Wheel. So she basically not telling him that she's still, grieving. She's still going through a lot of anxiety and worry and depression over past hurt and past regret when it comes to choosing a mate, when it comes to choosing a lover, that she's still unsure whether or not they're on the same page, whether or not he's going to be the leader in his life, whether or not, she can trust him. She's still not sure, if he's that guy, or if he's, just another ladies' man, whether or not he sleeps around, whether or not he's going to be, dealing with other people, whether or not he feels like they can go the long haul, or would he feel like, she's boring, or that, she's not that girl, she's not the one. Like, she's still just trying to figure out how he really feels. So this is all just repeating what I already said. Whether or not they're going to work out, whether or not he's willing to put the work in for the long haul with this Seven of Pentacles in reverse, whether or not they're going to get to that happily ever after with this Nine of Pentacles. Like, is this all going to work out? Is this going to be her wish fulfillment? Is everything going to turn out in her favor with the Wheel? Or is this just another bad mistake or risk that she shouldn't have taken? Is this just going to be a whole bunch of turmoil and ups and downs? And, is he about to just come in and wreak havoc on her life all over again? And this is going to be another cycle repeating from her past. So that's her main thing. She's just wondering if this is going to be stable, and whether or not he's that one, or if he's out, possibly doing something with somebody else and things like that. So she's definitely insecure. Like I said, they mirroring each other. So let's go with his hidden fears. Yeah, he's, of course, whether or not he's, strong enough, whether or not he's the, the right guy whether or not she's, protecting the relationship or possibly gonna deal with somebody else, So we got the Seven of Swords, the Moon in reverse, the Lovers in reverse, the Hermit in reverse, Knight of Wands in reverse, the Death card, and the Ten of Wands. So yeah, he's wondering whether or not this is a bad idea, whether he's going to be carrying burdens and just carrying all of her emotional baggage and, helping her, just pretty much. Is he going to be a rebound? Is she just using him to heal from her past relationship? And has she actually done the work? And, is it going to be a lot of hidden drama, unforeseen circumstances? Is she going to take advantage of his emotions? Is this just going to be, sadness and pain and turmoil for him? So they both feel the same way about each other. Is this just sexually motivated? Is this just, all cute because he looks good and he's sexy and the sex is good and all of that other stuff? He's just trying to figure out whether this is going to be real transformation and a long-term future ahead for them, or just her playing around in his energy and trying to use him as a rebound to heal from her past relationships, and whether or not he's about to have to find out some hidden nonsense that she's still dealing with her ex and all of that other kind of stuff. So that's what's really going on between these two. So wow. All right, let's see if we could get anything, else that we need to know hidden about these two. Starting with Aaron. Oh boy. Okay, so anything for Aaron? Anything else that we need to know about him? I hope that you can forgive me one day. I know that you crossed the line with me. So many things remind me of you. What is this? Give me more. So maybe they went through something. Maybe they got into some sort of argument. It says, my life is not as together as it seems, coming out in reverse. And it was my fault, but I blamed you. So this is telling me that something happened. They got into some sort of disagreement currently in the energy in this current moment. And he's hoping that she will forgive him, but he definitely did something that crossed the line and was, violated her boundaries. And it makes sense why, she's wondering if she could trust him or not, because he, and why he's paranoid about whether or not she's dealing with somebody else that went to her past, because there's something that happened between them. So let's see, about her. Well, give me her response to this. Give me Teyana's response to what Aaron is saying here, please. I left when I saw you with someone. Oh, wow. Tell me more. I wish things could be different. And we both know I'm not the one for you, coming out sideways. So, yeah, she feel like she's not the one for him. She feel like there's too many differences between them. Remember, that was coming out a lot about them, not being on the same page and possibly having differences. So she's real insecure and feeling like, she's not the person for him. It's looking like she saw him with somebody else, and she's like, damn, I wish that things could have been different between the two of us. This is too many. But it says, I will wait for a sign from you. It says, I wonder if you are happy without me, and it's time for me to heal now, coming out in reverse. So she know that, she hasn't healed, and that there's healing work that still needs to be done. But she is wondering, like, whether or not he wants to talk to her, because it seems like they're in a period of not speaking right now, because something obviously went down to where they're not speaking. So let's see if we can get some more fries with that. Tell me about this situation and why they're not speaking, and what it is that Aaron did that crossed the line. We got girl talk and the Phoenix coming out in reverse. So something about a female that she possibly saw him with. Separation coming out in reverse. Yeah, she's like unsure. She's unsure about the future of their relationship and what's going on. They're going through a separation right now. They're not seeing eye to eye with this Phoenix coming out in reverse, because she's wondering whether or not he changed his mind, or whether or not he really don't like her. With this girl talk, there's some sort of gossip. There's something that she heard through the grapevine, okay, about him. Not possibly not liking her, or possibly, feeling like they don't belong together, or that he don't really trust her. Listen, remember, his family feel like, she's not the one. So, she feel the type of way with this dragonfly coming out in reverse about whatever it is that she heard. Yeah, soulmates in reverse. She heard something about him saying that they're not on the same page, that they don't really belong together, that they're not in agreement, that they don't really see eye to eye. Yeah, listen, clock needs time, takes time, in time cycles, time to heal progress. So it's something about him basically saying he don't know if it's the right time. He needs time to figure out whether or not he really likes her, or and wants to be with her. And this is definitely what's going on. They going through a separation, you know. He's definitely telling her that he needs some time, it seems like. So let's get a little bit more fries with that. Tell me more about the conversation that's happening, and what's being said here. Because he's obviously, you know, possibly saying that, you know, he's not sure if this is the right person. And there was something that she heard it through the grapevine. She heard something, all right, about him possibly not feeling like they're on the same page and that they don't belong together, that there's too many differences between them. Something gave him the ick, and he spoke to somebody about it, and she heard about this gossip, all right, with this girl talk coming out here. So let's get some more. Seven of Cups, yeah, it was somebody who he spoke to, where he was like, I don't know, I think I might still want to explore my options. Listen, it says I left when I saw you with somebody else, so he might have been on a date. All right, okay. He might have been out here on a date, you know, and she didn't really expect that, to see that going on here. Wow, okay, so we got the Seven of Cups, the Sun, Strength, and the Four of Wands. So it's like, something came to light about, you know, this foundation, and, you know, she had to be really, really cool, calm, and collected about the situation, but she had to pretty much hear that, you know, where she thought that he was totally feeling the same way about her, and they was on the same page, and, you know, they was all excited. I'm looking at this sheep, and it's like, he was kind of like, I don't know, you know what I mean? That's when she found out that he's kind of like questioning it, that he's not actually sure, and that he's kind of still, you know, exploring his options. You see with how that person is looking pensive on the card, so he's still questioning things, and she had to find out that he's not really on the same page when it comes to this foundation. He still want to hang out and, you know, party and have fun, and she feel like, you know, whatever she saw, she felt like it was unfair with this justice coming out in reverse. It definitely rocked her world, all right? It definitely affected her emotionally, and she didn't expect that. With the Six of Wands coming out in reverse, you know, she's kind of gone into a little bit of a hermit mode when it comes to him now, and she's kind of like just questioning things, you know. She's trying to figure out as much as she can. She's not sure what's true, you know, so she's not sure if she could trust him and whether or not it was the right idea to go public with this so soon, all right? That's what I feel like with this Ten of Pentacles and Six of Wands in reverse. She's wondering whether or not that was the right decision, or if she's going to regret, you know, letting everybody know about this and bringing him into her family and welcoming him in and all of that. She's just wondering whether or not this was a good idea or not, because she definitely has already, you know, brought this into the public eye with the Six of Wands in reverse. So that's why it's coming, Six of Wands coming out here, but it's coming out in reverse because she's questioning whether or not that was a good decision or not. So that's pretty much what's going on with these two. I don't want to go too deep into the energy because I know that, you know, things can change, and it also makes sense why reconnection is now coming out on the bottom of the deck, because, yeah, with this brag in reverse, she's wondering whether or not she made the right decision with bragging on him and bringing this to light, because these two are, you know, kind of not on the same page with this reconnection here. So, yeah, wow. She's, you know, hoping that with this friendly and big favor that, you know, things will get back together. And that things will be good, but she's seeing that, you know, he's definitely out here dating other people with this date coming out in reverse, and with this I'm sorry and growth coming out in reverse. It's like he wants to apologize, but she's not sure whether or not, you know, this is true, whether or not he's telling the truth, or whether or not she should allow their journey to come to an end. You know, yeah, she's just unsure about whether or not she should have empathy for what he's saying and really believe him and believe that he's truthful. Yeah, with this negative amusement and sage advice, it's like she feel like, bro, I feel stupid. Like she almost feel like she's a joke now, like she's being laughed at because she trusted him, and then she had to hear through the grapevine that he's saying these negative things about her, and so now she's questioning whether or not he's truly a safe space, and whether or not she should have collaborated with him, or if this is going to be something that she'll regret in the future. So definitely contemplating closure and ending the situation and moving forward with her life, and, you know, not dealing with him, you know. So I feel like it's up in the air right now when it comes to their relationship and whether or not she wants to continue being with him. So, you know, we'll close it off with just seeing are they going to have a, you know, open and honest discussion about this. That's where we'll leave it at. You know, are they in the energy of having a conversation, or are they just really icing each other out and being really bitter and cold towards each other? Or, you know, are they in the energy of wanting to have a conversation with each other as of now? So we'll kind of go the top and bottom of the deck to see how each of them is feeling about having a potential conversation and fixing things. Okay. This will be Teyana. And then we have Aaron. Ciao. It says you get a lucky break. It's a successful venture. So, listen, it's looking like, it's a gamble. It's a risk. It might take a stroke of luck for her to be able to have this open and honest conversation with him. Okay. So for her, we obviously see that, yes, she's open to the conversation. We got budding star, first blush bursting out the scene, sunny outlook, blossom, open to divine inspiration. So she's just waiting on him to burst through the scene. She waiting on him to call her phone, hit her line, come through that door. She's just waiting on him to open up that conversation and be willing to talk to her. She's hoping that he's has a fresh outlook on things, that that he really has made a decision, that he does want to move forward with her, that he does like her, that he can see the vision and see the bigger picture, and that he really wants to blossom and go for more. But then we also have shady deals, dark road, moonlighting to get by. So there's a part of her that's still questioning whether or not he's shady, whether or not she can trust him, whether or not he was just playing her. Like, was there some money element, some greed? Like, was this all just a setup? Like, she's really just trying to figure out whether or not he's truthful, but she do want to have the conversation. Now with him, we have two no's here. So we got no overall. Heavy energy blocked, weighed down by worry, and beyond your ability, done to death, not viable. So there's a part of him that's questioning whether or not he should just cut his losses and leave this in the past. She possibly might have him blocked, so he's wondering, like, is it even worth trying to come to the door, being that she got him blocked, she's not speaking to him, they're not on the same page, the energy is real heavy right now between them. So he's just kind of like, I don't know whether or not I should just cut my losses and leave this alone, and whether or not it's just beyond my ability to even, have this conversation with her, or, should I just try this? I'm seeing with the yes card, it says walk before you run, fresh outlook, baby steps. So this might be, something new for him, and pride and ego is getting in the way. He is a man at the end of the day, and he's not sure whether or not he should make the choice. He's kind of being stubborn when it comes to it, and he's slowly but surely, coming around to wanting to have that conversation. So I'm just going to split the deck here. I see the high priestess in reverse. So yeah, listen, it's I don't know. Okay, it's a lot still up in the air. He's still trying to come to this understanding and decide whether or not he wants to speak to her and get back on the same page with her, or whether or not he really do just want to, explore his options and, still party and hang out and possibly, date around and see if, there's another woman who might be a more match, more of a, match and be more compatible with him. So that's what I have as far as Aaron, Pierre, and Teyana Taylor. I'm working so hard, y'all, on stopping saying and it's just not working. But hey, what can I do about it? I guess that's just the way that I speak. We'll just keep working at it. But I hope that you guys enjoyed and you got something from it. I love you guys, and I will see y'all later.